Hello everyone, good day for all. Welcome back to another episode of Ayur Samveda, a smart way to Ayurveda. I am Dr. Kavya Vasudev and you are watching series on Padartha Vijnana. Please subscribe to my channel and enable the bell button for continuous updates in Siddhanta. In the last videos, we were discussing the concept of guna. We have seen the definition and the lakshana of guna. If you have not watched those videos, please click the I button to access them. Moving with the same topic, guna. The different types of gunas has been mentioned, that is each acharyas or each darshanas has accepted different kinds of and different number of gunas, and as per Ayurveda there are 41 gunas, and the first guna which is being accepted by Ayurveda is Vaisheshika guna. So this Vaisheshika guna are the guna of Pancha Mahabhuta and they are the Vishaya of Pancha Jnanendriyas. As they are the Vishayas, they are called as Vaisheshika gunas, and these are also called as Sartha guna as they are considered to be the Indriya Arthas, and they are 5 in number. Mahabhudani kham vayu raknirapaha kshitistatha shabdasparshascha rupamcha raso gandhascha tadgunaha. So the 5 Mahabhutas has been explained, and the 5 gunas of these Mahabhutas are told, that is Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha. These gunas of Pancha Mahabhutas are considered to be the guna or Vaisheshika guna. So the 5 Vaisheshika gunas are Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha, and they are perceived by the Pancha Jnanendriyas also. Sartha Shabdadayo Jneya Gochara Vishaya Gunaha, and these gunas, that is these 5 Vaisheshika gunas are also called as Artha gunas or Gochara guna. They are called as Artha guna because they are being perceived by the 5 Jnanendriyas and they are considered to be the Indriya Arthas, so they are called as Sartha guna or Artha guna, and as it is very popular in the people, these are called as Gochara guna. That is, this Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha are known to all the people, so these gunas are called as Gochara guna. So the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa and Gandha are called as Vaisheshika guna or Artha guna or Gochara guna. They are the gunas of Pancha Mahabhutas and they are perceived by the 5 Jnanendriyas. Moving with the properties of individual gunas. First, Shabda guna. Srotrendriya grahyo gunaha shabdaha sa dvividhaha dhvanyatmako varnatmakascheti dhvanyatmako bheryado varnatmakaha samskrita bhashati rupaha. So the guna of Akasha Mahabhuta is Shabda. That is already mentioned that these are the gunas of Pancha Mahabhuta. So Shabda guna is the guna of Akasha Mahabhuta, and this is perceived through the Srotrendriya. That is the Srotrendriya which is having the predominance of Akasha Mahabhuta, which is situated in the Karna or in the Srotra. It helps in perceiving the Shabda guna, and this Shabda is of 2 types, that is Varnatmaka Shabda and Dhvanyatmaka Shabda. So this Shabda is the guna of Akasha Mahabhuta and it is perceived through the Srotrendriya, and it is of 2 types, that is Varnatmaka Shabda and Dhvanyatmaka Shabda. This Dhvanyatmaka Shabda is the sound which is being produced by the instruments, like by beating the drums the sound will be produced, or using the flute the sound will be produced. So different instruments has different mode of producing the sound. So the sounds which are being produced by the instruments or by hitting somewhere or beating something, by that the sound will be produced. Such sound production we call it as Dhvanyatmaka Shabda. Next type is Varnatmaka Shabda. This Varnatmaka Shabda is the vocal sound which is being produced by pronouncing letters. That is, whatever Shabdas we are speaking or what we hear when a person is speaking, or the sounds which are being produced from the vocal cords are considered to be the Varnatmaka Shabda. That is, by the union of different letters what Shabda is being produced, that we call it as Varnatmaka Shabda. So Dhvanyatmaka Shabda means what which is being obtained means from the instruments or by producing certain sounds, and Varnatmaka Shabda means by the pronunciation of letters what sound is being produced or voice is being produced, that we call it as Varnatmaka Shabda. So these are the two types of Shabda. Then Varnatmaka Shabda Sthana. So this Varnatmaka Shabda, that is what we pronounce or what we say, that is from the vocal cord this sound will be produced. And in Samskrita Bhasha there are 8 sthanas which are mentioned for this Varnatmaka Swara Utpatti. That is the swaras or the Shabdas are being originated by the 8 sthanas, that is based on the different sthanas the different letters are being pronounced. So this sthanas of Varnatmaka Shabda are Ashtau sthanani Varnanam Uraha Kantha Shiras Tatha Jihva Moolam Cha Dantascha Nasiga Oshtau Cha Talu Cha. So the 8 sthanas from which the Varnatmaka Shabda are produced are Ura, that is chest region, Kantha, that is throat region, Shiras, from the head, Jihva Moola, a root of tongue, Danta, teeth, Nasika, that is nose, Oshta, lips, and Talu, palate. So from these 8 sthanas or Ashta sthanas, the Varnatmaka Shabdas are being produced. So these are the Varnatmaka Shabda Sthana. Varnatmaka Shabda Bheda. So this Varnatmaka Shabda can be again classified into 2 types, that is Nirarthaka Shabda and Sarthaka Shabda. So Nirarthaka Shabda means which has no meaning or which don't give a particular knowledge is called as Nirarthaka Shabda. That is just a similar sound or just simply sounds are being produced, that is called as Nirarthaka Shabda, which don't have any meaning. And Sarthaka Shabda means which gives a specific meaning, that is the proper arrangement of the letters are there or proper pronunciation of the letters are there, and thus the proper words are being uttered and we will be getting the proper meaning from what we are speaking. So that is called as Sarthaka Shabda, that which gives the proper knowledge or specific meaning is being given, that is called as Sarthaka Shabda. And this Sarthaka Shabda is again of 2 types, that is Mithya and Yathartha. That is Mithya or Ayathartha, that is which gives the false knowledge. Whatever we are speaking in clear also can be giving 2 types of knowledge, that is it can be either true or it can be false. So if it is a false knowledge, then we call it as Mithya or Ayathartha Shabda, and when it is true knowledge we call it as Yathartha Shabda. So Varnatmaka Shabdas can be classified into 2, that is Nirarthaka and Sarthaka Shabda. Nirarthaka Shabda are those Shabda which don't have any specific meaning, and Sarthaka Shabdas are those which give the particular meaning. And Sarthaka Shabdas are again of 2 types, that is Mithya or Ayathartha and Yathartha. So the Shabdas can be first classified into 2, that is Dhvanyatmaka and Varnatmaka, and this Varnatmaka is again classified into 2, that is Nirarthaka and Sarthaka is again classified into Mithya or Ayathartha and Yathartha. And based on the Utpatti, that is based on the production, there are 3 types of Shabdas mentioned, that is Samyogaja Shabda, Vibhagaja Shabda and Shabdaja Shabda. So Samyogaja Shabda means the sound which is being produced by collision of 2 substances, like for example beating the drums or hitting somewhere. So 2 substances are coming in contact, and based on that connection certain sounds are being produced. Such kinds of sounds we call it as Samyogaja Shabda. Next is Vibhagaja Shabda, that is by the disjunction of 2 substances certain sounds will be produced. For example, certain the instruments like in flute and all, the air movement will be producing the sound production. So such sound production we call it as Vibhagaja Shabda. And next is Shabdaja Shabda, which explains the transmission of the sound from one place to another. That is, the sound will be produced and we have to perceive that sound, and how this sounds are being perceived or how this sound is being moving, these are all told in the Shabdaja Shabda. And for explaining this Shabdaja Shabda or how these sounds are being moving, two kinds of Nyayas are being mentioned. Nyayas are being told to explain a concept very easily or to understand it in a better way. So few examples may be given, or through an example the concept will be explained. That is called as Nyaya. So this Shabdaja Shabda or the transmission of sound is being explained through two Nyayas, that is Viji Taranga Nyaya and Kadamba Pushpa Nyaya. So based on the Utpatti or based on the production, three kinds of Shabdas are being told, that is Samyogaja Shabda, Vibhagaja Shabda and Shabdaja Shabda. Samyogaja Shabda means by production of or by collision of two substances the sound will be produced, and Vibhagaja Shabda means by disjunction of the two substances the sound will be produced. And how the sound is being moving or transmitted from one place to another is being explained by two Nyayas, that is Viji Taranga Nyaya and Kadamba Pushpa Nyaya. So Viji Taranga Nyaya, that is transverse transmission of water, is given example for this transmission of the sound also. That is, if we are putting a stone into the middle of a pond, ripples will be produced and this ripples will be moving across the bank. The stone is being put into the middle of the pond and the ripples are being formed and it will be moving towards the bank. And first ripple will be produced and then it will produce the next one, thus it moves to the bank. So similarly is the sound also. First the sound will be produced and it will produce the next wave, and that wave will produce the next wave. Such way the sound will be moving. This is being told in the Viji Taranga Nyaya. So the transverse transmission of sound or water is given as an example for the transmission of the sound. Next is Kadamba Pushpa Nyaya, that is the three-dimensional transmission of sound is being told by the Kadamba Pushpa Nyaya. That is, voice will be produced from one place and it nearby places will be getting vibrated and thus the sound will be moved to the particular Vishya or Indriya. So similar to that of Kadamba Pushpa blooming, the sound will be moving is being told, or sound is transmitted is explained by Kadamba Pushpa Nyaya. That is, the first sound will be produced at a place and it will vibrate the nearby places and thus the sound will be transmitted. So these are the two Nyayas which are told to explain how the sound is being transmitted from one place to another. The practical importance of the Shabda Guna. So Shabda is one among the Ashtasthana Pariksha. So in the Yoga Ratnakara there are Ashtasthana Parikshas mentioned which we have to examine the patient for the proper diagnosis. So one among them is the Shabda Pariksha, and we have to know whether it is the Prakrita or Vaikrita Swara or the patient is having, or the Shabda is having any deformity or any problems are there. We have to understand that. Similarly, in the Arishta concept, that is the patient when he is going to nearing the death, certain signs and symptoms will be produced, and such signs and symptoms we call it as Arishta Lakshana, and based on the sound also there are certain Arishta Lakshanas mentioned. That is based on the Prakrita and Vaikrita Swara and sudden changes in the Swaras or the voices, there are certain Arishta Lakshanas mentioned. So the examination of the Shabda or Swara is very much important for the diagnosis. And auscultation is the method of examination which we helps in hearing the heart sounds or respiratory sounds or the peristaltic movement. Such all sounds can be heard by the using the auscultatory method. So these are the different kinds of examinations by which we can understand the Shabda Guna, whether it is in the Prakrita Avastha or in the Vaikrita Avastha. Next, moving with the next guna, that is Sparsha. त्वगिन्द्रिय मात्रग्राह्यो गुणः स्पर्शः स त्रिविधः शीतोष्ण अनुष्ण शीत भेदात् तत्र शीतो जले उष्णस्तेजसि अनुष्णशीतः पृथ्वी वायुः. So sparsha is the guna of Vayu Mahabhuta, and it is perceived through the sparshanendriya or the tvak, and this sparsha is of three types, that is Ushna, Shita and Anushna Shita. So this guna of Vayu Mahabhuta is sparsha guna, and it is perceived through tvak or sparshanendriya, and this sparsha is of three types, that is Ushna, Shita and Anushna Shita. Ushna guna is present in Agni, Shita guna is present in Jala, and Anushna Shita is present in Prithvi and Vayu Mahabhuta predominant substances. So Ushna is present in Agni as well as the dravyas which are having more predominance of Agni Mahabhuta. Shita guna is present in the Jala Mahabhuta predominant substances, and Anushna Shita guna is present in Prithvi and Vayu Mahabhuta dravyas. The practical utility of sparsha guna. Sparshana Pariksha is carried out using the sparsha guna. That is in Ashtanga Hridaya Sutrasthana first chapter, it has been told about the Rogi Pariksha, that is Darshana, Sparshana and Prashna has been told. Among that Sparshana Pariksha we have to carry out using this sparsha guna. That is by touching the patient or by palpating the patient we have to understand the sparsha guna, that is whether it is Prakrita or Vaikrita we have to understand. Similarly, in the concept of Arishta Lakshana, there are various Arishtas which are mentioned based on the sparsha. That is when the mridu organs or mridu part or the soft parts of the body becomes very rough or hard suddenly, or the hard parts of the body becomes soft, or the changes in the touch happens. Such all things are coming under this Arishta Lakshana. So suddenly without any cause such changes in the sparsha are happening, we have to consider as Arishta Lakshana. Similarly, the palpation is the method of examination to feel certain things. That is, for example, the temperature, the tenderness or the enlarged organs or the swelling or such all things we have to examine by using the palpation method. So, by this method or palpation or by the sparshana or by using the sparsha guna, we have to understand the underlying pathologies. So, these are the important utility of sparsha guna in the clinical examination. Today we have discussed a portion of guna and will be continuing the same topic in the upcoming videos. For more updates on Siddhanta, make sure you subscribe the channel. Thank you. See you in the next video. Till then, bye.